So I'm all about the mind, body, and soul.
And we love that over here at
Yes, the crystals, the good vibes. I really think like every single day is a mindset. Like you get to decide the vibe of the day, and whatever you're feeling is what you're gonna see in your physical world around you.
Payments no playing, we heard you was slacking, and I get that front end, back end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's your boy Tap Dub, and I'm back with another episode of the Tap Podcast. And today, I got a very, very special guest, the one and only PAIGE.
Hey, what's good, Tap?
Hey, everything's good. But what's good with you? How you feeling today?
I feel amazing today. It's a blessed Sunday.
It is. It really is.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Seeing another day today. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. You got me blushing and stuff already. I told her like this my rap crush right now. This my local crush right now. So it's always
Hottie
good.
Red.
Yeah, Hottie Red. I'm crushing on Hottie Red. So this is gonna be like a fun interview for us. So might as well just get right into it. So I'm gonna explain how everything's gonna go.
Okay.
So in the beginning section of the podcast, we're gonna kind of like slightly tap into you, Paige. Ask some surface level questions, and as the interview progresses, we're gonna get more in depth. And then at the end, we're going to have some fun, ask some random stuff. That sound cool?
Sounds awesome.
Alrighty. Well, without further ado.
Trip.
Ooh, I like that. Sounds tapped. So, let's start from the beginning. And I want to know, like, where you from?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
Born and raised. 513, Nasty Natty. You already know. I'm from the east side. So I did all 12 years of grade school at Batavia.
Okay.
Claremont County, yep. So I spent a lot of time outdoors. We had a little bit of land. We were like lucky to grow up like pretty blessed environment. And that was before, things maybe hit the fan a little bit with my family.
Okay, then we're going to get into that. So
sure.
let's keep it on the early childhood
for sure.
So just describe your family dynamic. And you said you had a little bit of land. You said y'all were a little bit more blessed in the beginning. So just talk about the family dynamic a little bit more for me.
For sure. So my mom's name's Roberta. She's amazing. She's who I get my voice from. She's the one who... Shout out Roberta, always. She's the one that took me to church and taught me how to sing and taught me about God. So real shout out to my mama for sure. And then my dad, Dale, he was an amazing co-parent. My parents definitely cared about my academics, cared that I was involved in sports. My mom made sure that I was involved in singing and dance. And yeah, I had a younger brother. I have a younger brother, Jake, and unfortunately he couldn't make it today, but he did come to the concert. Tapped In Entertainment concert. So he's a great brother, and him and I are like this. He went on tour with me in Texas 2 months ago. He's a really good guy.
That's dope. How much younger is he than you?
He's 2 years younger than me.
Okay, so just like me and my sister.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
Like when you're younger, they got on the nerves a little bit, but now you're cool, you're best
y'all
friends.
Locked in like this.
Yeah, we locked in.
Okay,
for sure.
Then that's pretty dope. So pretty much you stayed in the Batavia area, or did y'all move around?
No, we were in the same household for probably until I was 10 years old. And then that's when my parents split up. So that's when I kind of lived in a lot of different places ever since then, actually.
Okay, then talk about some of those places. Just name a couple of them off top, and what were some of your favorites? Which was some of the ones that you didn't particularly like?
Okay, period. So when I was about 10 to 15 years old, I was going through middle school and high school, and my parents were working on split custody. So my mom was lucky enough to stay at one of my friends' houses for a while, so we would come visit her there. And she eventually got us an apartment in Eastgate. So I'm very familiar with Eastgate area too, for sure. And my dad kind of stayed in our childhood home for a while. When my mom was kind of getting back on her feet. She ended up getting a house for us, and I finished schooling, and it was the party house. It was the house that absolutely everyone in my grade and in my school came to. We didn't even have to party, it's just a safe space.
Vibe house,
it was a vibe house, yeah. My mom created a very safe environment for everyone, and it's just really good times. A lot of my best memories come from that house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then. So do you think that house plays on your ability to be able to network and be outgoing with people?
And entertain. For sure. For sure. Actually, I've never even thought about it that way, but yeah, I was kind of always like the person that would entertain in high school, and I'd, you know, put on the little house parties, and I'd have people come over before games. We'd get painted up, and I guess I did always play that role of entertaining for sure. So
I like that. So in high school, were you ever voted anything like class clown or most likely to be successful or anything of that sort?
Mine was kind of like a hater one, for real.
What was it? Why y'all hating, man? You gotta let the toppers know what it was.
That's funny. Like, I was involved in a lot in high school, so I think I definitely could have been voted like most likely to be a celebrity or something like that, for sure. But I was voted most likely to be like biggest blonde. For real? No cap.
Hey.
No cap.
Hey, that's hilarious right there.
But
hilarious.
I do have something to say on that. Like, I feel like I'm just a lighthearted jokester person, so maybe like a lot of people don't see past my surface like level, and they don't realize like I'm a Cancer zodiac. Like, I can get real deep, and the later in the night it goes, like the more I'm gonna be getting into my feels.
Okay,
so yeah.
When's your birthday?
My birthday's coming up.
Let me try to guess.
Okay. Psychic abilities. Let's see.
July 18th.
That's so close.
What is it?
July 20th.
Dang. And you know what's so crazy? I said July 18th because that's my little sister's birthday and she a Cancer.
Oh,
so I was
wow.
just like, that would have been crazy if y'all had the same birthday.
Yes.
Shout out little sis since I brought her
yes.
up. So that's, dang, I almost had it.
That's wild.
That's so crazy. So let's get into the music side of PAIGE, because you are a musical artist, performing artist. And I kind of want to, since we're still talking about your upbringing and early childhood, did your parents have a role in, you know, you being attached to music and you growing up listening to music? And if so, what did they expose you to?
Yes. My mom, oh my goodness, this is so crazy because I didn't even think about all this coming in. So the fact that this is all
podcast we made,
yes, it's just making me think. Oh, we're just slightly tapping so far. So my mom had me growing up listening to country, rock, pop, rap, everything you name it. Especially like rock and roll, for sure. She took me to see Bon Jovi when I was 10. She took me to see Britney Spears when I was 7.
Wow. In
the 7th row. And honestly,
you were 7 in the 7th row. That's
yes.
Why 7's right there. I like
7.
7.
And my mom, this is a side note, we can go into this later, but my mom and I wrote a book. We'll hit that in a little bit. We're still tapping. But she really believes, and I believe too, and I have memories from back then, but also at the same time, like, she's my mama. Like, my brain wasn't fully developed. So she says that taking me to that concert to see Britney Spears, she said that she thinks that's the night that I decided I wanted to be
like
a famous artist.
Wow.
A world famous artist.
That's super duper tap right there. So do you have like a favorite let's say band or musician from back there, or could you name a couple of them off top? I know you said Bon Jovi and Britney Spears, but were they your favorites?
They were like 2 of my favorites for sure. But I listened to like a lot of top 100 hits. Listen to the radio, you know, just all those like jams. Drake came into the picture, Rihanna. I was already a huge fan of Wayne and Nicki, so absolutely, like, it didn't matter what people were bumping at my school. Like, I had my lane of music, and I would go to Riverbend. Even in middle school, I saw Drake and J. Cole,
go to a Drake show?
And Wiz.
That's like a privilege. Wow. Wait, the most recent Wiz show, like within the last 5 or 6 years, was like 2017. Was it that Wiz show? Where Sway Lee was there?
Yes.
Ray Sherman was there. I went to
what
that
album
concert.
was it?
I don't remember what. I think it was rolling. No, it wasn't rolling.
Yes, it was.
Was it rolling papers?
Two.
Yes, yeah. Rolling papers too.
Yes,
With the green.
So
Yes.
We could have crossed paths.
We probably
there.
did.
We probably did.
You know what's so crazy?
Smoke me out.
A little sad story about that concert. I was just standing in the crowd vibing to the music, and somebody walked up to me with a joint this big and handed it to me. It was like, "Here, bro." That's when I knew I was officially at a Wiz Khalifa concert.
Yes.
That doesn't happen anywhere else. That was like an amazing moment for me. But that was just like a little sad story. Right there. Yes, it was, and it was
literally
fire. It was literally fire. I would never forget that right there. That's crazy that we went to the same concert.
That's wild.
That's amazing.
I think that played a huge role. Even just like that concert played a huge role in like artist development for me. And like for real, seeing like these people that you listen to every single day, seeing them live, that's the only opportunity I've seen him live before. It's just
it's just like mind blowing almost.
Yes.
But it also makes you feel like it's in reach as well.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So let's talk about when you first recorded. So when is the first time you ever recorded music? Do you remember your first song?
Okay. So the first time I ever recorded music, I was in choir for 8 years, all middle school and all high school. Fast forward to college. Do you know about my accident?
I don't actually. If you can explain that, that would be amazing.
Okay. So this kind of like sets the tone for like the rest of the podcast, I feel like. Okay. So in 2018, I was living on the street. Let's say that. I was living on the street, very familiar with the area. Headed into my senior year of college at UC. Okay. And I was
studying there.
I was in health promotion and education.
Okay.
So I'm all about the mind, body, and soul.
And we love that over here at
Yes, the crystals, the good vibes. I really think like every single day is a mindset. Like you get to decide the vibe of the day, and whatever you're feeling is what you're gonna see in your physical world around you.
Tapped.
I know we connect.
Hey, I told you, you're my crush right now for a reason.
So 2018, September 9th, 2018, I was downtown Cincinnati. I just got off of work at Lavino, small plate wine bar restaurant. Okay. Best gig I've had, serving wise so far. And I was walking across crosswalk and a car hit me as pedestrian.
Now,
yeah.
What type of injuries did you sustain from this accident?
I was unconscious for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what the police report says. Wow. Yes.
So you don't really recall anything off memory, kind of like what you were told from witness statements and stuff?
And from the hospital records, right. So severe brain injury.
Wow. You would never even be able to tell, especially how you move on stage, and that's one of the things we're going to go in more on the in-depth.
Yes.
But wow, so was that like a catalyst into you kind of like, all right, this is serious. Life is like nothing to play with. I have to follow my dreams. Is that like that type of moment for you?
That's exactly it. You could write the book for me.
Wow.
You could write the sequel. Yeah, wow. That's exactly what it was.
Wow. Yep. So, all right. So before we're going to get more in depth, I feel like this is a good conclusion to the slightly tapped ear section. Yep. So what we're going to do, Paige, is we're going to throw a clip of your music in right quick.
Fire.
And I think we should get into that. How about that bless?
Yes. Let's
Alrighty.
go.
Let's play that right.
This beat here better drop so crazy.
Make it hot and make me miss you. If you don't, then I'll replace you. I'm the mango unofficial. Bless these souls, they need a tissue. Referee ho, I'm official. BVS on all my crystals. Being broke is not my issue. I'm not about to argue with you. Make that cash, shake something. 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 Make that cash.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope y'all enjoyed that clip of Paige music. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. It'd be a lot of stuff going on in them videos.
Make that cash.
I love it. And then I got to see that perform live at the Tapadelic Takeover, excuse me. And I was definitely throwing a little bit of ones right there. I liked what I seen, you know what I mean? So that was pretty
fire,
dope.
Yes.
So that was the slightly tapped in section. So now we're going to move into the more in-depth section of the Tap podcast. and just got a slew of questions. So you still with me? Still rocking? Still tapped?
I'm tapped.
Loving that. I'm loving that. So let's get into your recording process.
Yes.
So what does your recording process look like? Do you need anything specific? Are you cool with people being there? Do you like solo? Talk to it about it.
That's good questions for sure. So I'm all about like what's my vibe that day. I love caffeine, unfortunately. Hey, I'm doing a green tea instead of a coffee.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's tight. I like that one.
Exactly.
I like that one.
So I like uppers and downers, not necessarily even talking about things that people are thinking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like an upper could be caffeine and a downer could be just taking like a 2.5 milligram edible, you know? Or just, bringing crystals around me or bringing certain people around me. So I'm all about like, what type of music are we creating today? Are we bringing in a beat, or is my producer X gonna make a beat on the set? Like maybe a good vibe would be to bring some Hennessy so we can all like vibe out and have fun.
Love the Henny, huh?
Yeah.
Henny get you in the right mood, no cap.
Yes. And it's just fun. Like I've been working with the same producers and engineers and we've just really created a bond, and it's like literally always a party.
I love that.
Every time we're there. Yeah.
I love that. So I'm big on name dropping on the podcast. So
Yeah.
you said you work with the same producers and engineers.
Yes.
Can you name those people for us?
For sure. I work with the one and only Young X. Mama named me Evan
Shout
X. Shout out X. That's my executive producer on my album HOTTIE Red. And all the projects and singles that I have coming forward. Like he's my beat man and my producer, and he's worked with like a handful of successful recording signed artists as well. He has a few plaques and things, which is really dope. Definitely goals. And it's one of the reasons why I chose to work with him is because I like serious people. I like to have fun, but I'm a very serious person.
Right.
Very, very serious person.
Nice duality to you. You can be goofy, but when it comes down to it, you got a seriousness to you as well.
Yes. And no matter what people want me to be in the moment, I can feel sometimes people want to maybe a certain way. I'm going to be however I want to be in that moment. If I want to be serious, I'll be serious. If I want to be goofy, I'll be goofy. So I can definitely like act and things like that and play parts in situations, but for the most part, like I like to try to stay tapped in with who I am feeling like that day, you know.
I love that. I love that. So this would be talk to me.
I gotta shout out one more person.
Oh yeah. And then also your engineer too.
Yeah, I gotta shout out my engineer.
Okay.
I gotta shout out my engineer. He's also featuring on HOTTIE Red album. Shout out to my engineer Vast. VAST.
Gotta shout out Vast.
Shout out Vast, period. He's fire, great person to work with. Definitely one of my top songwriters that I collab with. He definitely feels like that HOTTIE Red vibe that I was going for. He helped me nail down my album exactly how I wanted it to. And he's helped me with like a lot of the bookings and management and traveling across the US and things like that. So definitely shout out Vast. And book with him at Timeless Recording Studio. Just hop on their website. That's the studio that I go to. I promise you won't be disappointed in the quality of the sound. So if you are, DM me and I will take it up with the owner. We'll get that figured out for you.
That's amazing. Shout out Vast. He literally has a vast amount of talent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like literally, because he, like you said, he's your engineer, but he featured on the album too, and he just performed with you on stage.
Yes.
So and he's like managing you to a certain extent.
Yes.
So that's shout out Vast, man.
Yes.
You need friends, you need people like that around you.
Yep.
That's what I like to call tapped.
Yep.
So you was kind of talking about like, you know, when you need to be serious, when you need to be goofy and things of that nature. So I feel like this is a perfect segue into, is there any struggles that you face with you being an upcoming female rapper?
For sure. That's something I'd love to talk about.
Talk to us.
So basically, some situations I'm put down as a female artist. In other situations, there's room for me to get a leg up. So basically, I just take every situation and I just feel into it as positive as I can. And even if it's like a learning experience for me or a learning experience for maybe me telling somebody that's trying to like, you know, undermine me or something like that. Maybe it's like a situation where God just wants me to talk to them and let them know, like, even though I am an upcoming female rapper, like, I deserve, hands down, the same respect as everyone else in the game.
Tap. Tap.
For sure. So I've definitely fought for my spot in shows. I've fought to be paid for gigs. It's probably the number one thing that I've had to like fight for. And fighting for respect and things like that. I know that my raps are hard. I know that offends some females definitely, but more so men actually.
Let's talk about that too.
Yeah, that's actually, it really offends some men for real. Never really have anyone come up to me in person like and talk negative towards me. It's online bullying.
Yeah, that's kind of like where we're at in 2023, and that's so unfortunate because like you're such an understanding person, and I know you are because I'm literally having a conversation with you. So I feel like if they take the time to have a conversation with you, they would get to know you and be able to understand where you're coming from, because you don't give off those vibes at all.
Thank you.
Thanks for being vulnerable on that aspect and talking about those struggles, because I feel like a lot of people try to shy away from it or try to like sweep it under the rug when these are the things that we need to talk about, because this is what artists go through and this is what will help them advance to the next level, or at least have enough confidence to want to try this endeavor. You agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree with that. Yep. I'm all about embracing females, especially on the showcases that I'm on. Like to connect with all of the females, make sure everyone feels safe if they don't have someone there for them that night. Like, I'm your girl, what do you need? Let's like stick together, especially females stick together. But I really think like the show that you put on that I was just on, it was a community thing. It really was. It was so beautiful. And I really meant that when I said it was one of my favorite gigs I've ever done.
Aww.
Yeah.
Gotta be blessed on the podcast. Gotta do it.
It's good vibes. So.
Yeah, I'm super happy that you were able to come through and do what you do best, because like I had said, I had seen you perform at the Thompson House from an SL Mo show, and just how your energy was on stage, just how your presence was. And then on stage and off stage, as soon as you got off, you're doing like your photo ops. You have like these beautiful business networking cards that you pass out with your face on them and like your link tree or QR code, whatever you call it. I just love the professionalism. But I made up a new word too. I call it professionality.
Love it.
So professionalism and personality mixed in one. You have that. Yeah, that's tap right there. That's tap. So that's exactly why I had like hand selected you for that showcase, because I just seen you do it before and I knew that you could execute it again. But
thank you.
Let's talk about your tape.
Okay.
Hottie Red.
Hottie Red.
A beautiful piece of work. I know that shout out my producer Arnie Neek. We've been jamming that. He liked a couple songs off of that one.
Serious.
So can you talk Hottie Red for us? How did that come to be? What made you call it Hottie Red? Describe the cover art for us. And you were going in a little bit on it with Vast and stuff like that. So describe that a little bit more if you don't mind.
So Hottie Red. So first and foremost, when I start a beat or buy a beat, I like to finish it. So luckily, by the grace of God, every single song we started got finished. And it actually just beautifully became an art piece that we decided to call Hottie Red. Obviously, I'm not a redhead. I'm just a hottie, you know, it's Hottie Red. It's Hottie Red summer.
Fan. You gotta represent somehow.
Yes, I had my Hottie Red satin shorts on last night, representing in the streets of Cincinnati. So I'm definitely out there promoting. Hottie Red, basically how we got that name was because the very last song on the album is called Hottie. And it's just about, you know, hottie vibes, being a hottie, fuck the thotties. Like, I just don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. So, it, like I said, it just all kind of magically came together. We have the feature with Vast on there, completing in the A. So I recorded, I think 9 of the songs, maybe 8 of the songs at Timeless Recording Studio in Cincinnati, and the other 2 were recorded at Hot Beat Studio in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Shout out Hot Beats.
You was in the A with this shit.
I was in the A.
I seen the video and y'all really touched down in the A and had the scenery of the city and stuff like that. That was beautiful.
Thank you. So I recorded in the A, actually in Hot Beat Studio. which was like we were literally writing the verse on the way to the studio.
So this was one of those just like quick bangers, like you didn't even know what you was creating at the time.
No, it like literally that's probably my hardest verse.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, and it was on a quick tip on the way to go record. So answer this for me. Was this like something that, so do you normally like take more time to write your songs and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so like
we were just in the A. My producer, lived there at the time. He floats back and forth. He scheduled a studio appointment. We were there getting me into the clubs, performing Bless. I've been to the A quite a few times, you know. I've done progress report interview, birthday bash, and things like that. But this particular trip, it just kind of was like, we're going to the studio. And we really just had like the hook done and his verse done. And we just threw my verse together, and we actually ended up recording It Looked Good the same day. And that was just recorded freestyle in the booth. So it was just wild. Sometimes beautiful songs take a long time to make. Other times beautiful songs, like, it's a quickie.
Yeah, that sound good and it look good, don't it?
It look good, don't it?
Yeah, loving that. So I got a few more questions on the more in-depth tap section before we go into the fun section.
Yes.
And let me see. So you've done several shows, right?
Yep.
You performed several different times.
Yes.
What is your favorite part of performing, and what was your favorite performance?
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to put you on the spot or nothing like that, but it's the Tap Podcast more in-depth section. I got to.
Yeah. Honestly, it's so hard to like choose my favorite performance. Because when I perform in Cincinnati, even though they say like hometown hate or whatever exists, like, yeah, sure, that might be true. But like when I perform in Cincinnati, I feel like the souls are connecting with me maybe more. Maybe it's just like a Cincinnati thing, a Cincinnatian thing or whatever. Maybe they understand like Bless and weirdly in the A and It Looked Good too, you know, maybe they weirdly feel that. But I have to say, that being said, the emotion behind that, the highest highs I've ever had in like getting off stage and feeling like, wow, like I'm a celebrity, like this is great, like oh my gosh, like I'm like crying, I'm bawling in like the bathroom afterwards, and just on such a high, because it was just such an experience, was definitely Coalition DJ in Atlanta and Birthday Bash in Atlanta. Those two.
I seen the recap of that on YouTube. Y'all were Casamigo driving the boat and going crazy. They had your face real big. I'm like, I wish I was there. Goddamn it, that would look like a beautiful show. It
was a beautiful show. I ended up getting a free bottle after I performed because I turned the crowd up, the folk up. It was just, I was up there with celebrities. Like, yes, celebrities have been in that building before and after, but like they were on stage with me the same night.
Wow.
It was so beautiful, and I love all of the unsigned artists that I have met all over the United States. But to work with signed artists, like, that is definitely my goal. And even if I don't get signed, that's fine too. But creating such a platform that it really does make a huge movement in the music world is just definitely like my biggest goal in life.
Loving that. So that was powerful right there, Tabby.
Thank
that was powerful.
you.
I love that. I got two more for you, and one of them is the one that I just thought about because you had your book.
Yeah.
And the book that you wrote with your mama, and you know we said that we was gonna get into that with the more in-depth tap section. So can you describe that? How did the book come along? What is the book called, and things of that nature?
Yeah. So the book's called She Looks Fine.
She looks fine. Look good.
It look good on it. So yeah, it look good, but yeah, there's chronic illness. So
Talk to us. Talk to us.
You know, that's a whole nother keynote speaking event, honestly. My mom and I keynote speak. We have a gig in September at the University of Dayton. It's the biggest gig yet. So that's just like a whole nother vibe, and that's where like my public health comes out too. And my song Fearless as well. Fearless was dropped the same day as She Looks Fine. So that book is basically like inspiration specifically for the youth. I would love it to be yes, I would love it to be in a Disney movie.
Wow.
That's like big goals right there for me. Or even just like a Netflix movie too, anything to like help the youth for real. But She Looks Fine is about living with an intractable chronic migraine, bruising, swelling, bleeding still on my brain, nerve damage, bulging discs in my neck. So
And this is all from the accident. Is correct? Wow.
And so when I do get on stage and when I do come to interviews and do all my things, like there's preparation that has to like make sure that my mental is okay and that my body's okay. That's why I talk about like green tea uppers and downers and things like that. Nutrition is huge. Making sure I get enough sleep. Making sure I take time to meditate and just sit there with absolutely no stimulation. I like need a little bit of like me time, you know. I'm already a Cancer. I already need me time. And now it's just doubled basically. But I think She Looks Fine can be applied to all of the females in the entire world. I think we all, you know, look fine, but all have underlying, you know, PTSD, trauma, chronic illness and things like that. And I actually would like to turn the book into a sequel and maybe even, you know, a third book about I look fine, they look fine, and go into the men as well. But specifically, like my mom, being a single mom for the past 10 plus years and still being single today, entirely single, like she has a huge heart for women. And I have a huge heart for women. And definitely everyone in the world, like I like definitely project love to every single person in this world, but specifically women and single moms and, you know, all of that. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're going to put like the link to where we can find the book into the description and that for you, because that's very powerful. I got little sisters, so all that stuff really, and a mom that was a single mother and stuff, so that's super relatable to, you know, my situation and stuff as well. So I love that. I got one more for you.
Blessings to both of them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Much love.
For sure.
So music is a very saturated market, right?
Yes.
How do you feel like you differ from other artists these days?
For sure. I just feel like, you know, I hate to say it like that. Like, I'm just the best. Like, it's PAIGE all caps, you know. I will absolutely always put on a show. I will absolutely always project love to every single person around me. I put on a, like, fantastic show that, you know, as a white female rapper and a white female R&B singer, like, I really do bring different things to the table. An alto, so my music, you know, I have a lower voice, and I think that's very unique in the culture today. I think there's a lot of, like, more high-pitched singers and rappers out there. So I think, like, my sound with the beats that I've chosen and things, and we've worked beats around my vocals as well, it's just pleasing to the ear.
Wow. So
yeah.
This is like some real strategic stuff. Like,
oh, absolutely.
When you in that lab, you really, y'all cooking up for real.
Yeah.
I like that.
Serious about my mixes and masters. I'm very serious. Like, I want things to sound radio quality. I want them to project a frequency that's positive and not negative. And I feel like this is important to say too. Like, I feel like a lot of people think like, well, you know, you got baptized and you're a Christian. Well, how are you rapping and how are you, you know, shaking your butt on stage? And I really think it's about like being a good person. And so when like people try to project like, oh, being a Christian's like, you got to be like perfect and like, it's about love. It's really about,
you know who you are when you get off that stage. You know who you are when you by yourself. And so I get it. I get it. People are always trying to project something. Like, leave us alone. Leave us alone. So I feel like you answered that perfectly. And I love asking that question because It always brings out the most genuine answers, but that one was one of my favorites by far.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude the more in-depth tap section. How about we throw that in the A clip in there? All right, let's get it.
Let's get it.
I swear these bitches calling my phone. Oh, hold on one second. Hello? Bitch, I just touched down in the A. Stop calling me.
This beat here better drop so crazy.
Just touched down in the A. Every time I drop a song, I know I'm getting paid. They're trying to take my style, all these bitches stalking PAIGE. You know they can't afford it, make a minimum wage. Why you trying to hate? You should say up on my face. Just let me do me. Why I
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back. Hope y'all enjoyed that video clip of In the A. Man, y'all was clowning in that one.
Just touched down in the A.
In the A.
In the A.
I love that. I love it. Oh my goodness, that fan that's so tap. That's so tap. So we
Do
back
some
with
SMR or whatever that's called.
yeah, the ASMR. Yeah. So we back on the tap podcast, but you know we done got slightly tapped in. Then we got more in depth tapped in. Now we about to have some motherfucking fun.
Okay.
You ready, Paige? You still with me?
Fun like we had on the stage?
We can't have that much fun.
Okay.
Nah, it's gonna be just the same amount of fun. So this is the fun tap section where I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions. This one will be more fast paced, and we'll wrap it up after that. Okay.
Cool.
Alrighty. So what is your favorite Disney princess?
Oh my gosh. You want it to be fast paced, and I just don't. I can't choose.
You can't choose, or throw like a couple of them off top.
Okay, like Ariel.
Mhm.
Shout out the new Ariel. Okay, love that girl. Cinderella, Rapunzel.
So that's top three. We go.
That's top three. That's top
the first
three.
ones that came to your mind.
Okay.
All right. So what do you do in your spare time? What's your hobbies?
My hobbies. I love just like working on health and wellness, like working out, not like hardcore working out, just like taking walks in nature, using my Polaroid. I love movies. I can binge watch Netflix documentaries, things like that. Working out, cooking. I feel like I cook so much all the time. Smoothies, bootables.
Oh my
like
goodness, I need a Paige smoothie.
I'm
You
serious.
should have one called the Hottie Red.
I love that.
That's
Tabs.
tap. That's
Pomegranate in that bitch.
Yeah, that's tap.
Oh
we
my.
might have thought of something right
A little
there.
bit of lime zest.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so
I
we
need
just
one of those.
Okay, so we definitely are gonna do a segment on my Instagram of us making the smoothie at some point.
I love that. We just made it official right here on the Tap Podcast, and y'all seen it.
I am
Alright.
Paige official.
Official.
We're official.
So do you like anime and cartoons? And if so, what's some of your favorite animes or cartoons?
Oof. Okay, so like I know that's such a love and passion of yours.
It is. It really
I know,
is.
so I ain't gonna shut it down. All I've really seen is like, oh my gosh, it's so basic. I don't want to say.
Just throw it
on
out there. At
here.
least it's the truth, though. Some people would try to like, try
They'll
to
be
make
like,
up something.
like Naruto, Boruto. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Okay.
Ooh, that's something right there.
We triggered the audience in a positive way.
Ooh,
Awesome.
Yeah, yes.
Awesome.
Yes. All right.
And I have like Hanada, like I have a little like
Okay.
thing that goes on my keychain. So
Yeah, I'm big on the anime and cartoons and stuff like that. So, but everybody's not into them. I don't
Yeah.
like discriminating if somebody's not into it. But I always like to ask. Social media thoughts: is it good? Is it bad? What do you think about social media?
But like with the anime, like I love that it's like the story behind it.
Right.
I've talked to people and they're like, no, really, like it's about like overcoming
Yes.
yourself as
overcoming,
your worst
yes.
enemy. Like
Yes.
I just
Yes.
had to touch on that.
Always
yeah.
leveling up, doing better, fighting discrimination, all that type of stuff. Especially like Naruto, because he was deemed to be like, basically
Yeah.
nobody, to grow up to be the best in pretty much ever. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that's definitely the morals and values and principles that you can get from anime.
They are teaching the youth well with that.
Yes, that's probably why people in like Japan are so like smart and educated and
Yes.
and just powerful in general, because that's what they take in on a daily basis. Then you got America, who we got Family Guy and freaking cops.
Yep.
That's gluttony and violence that we take in.
Yep.
and sick comedy. That's what we look at on a daily. So
you think like anime can definitely like help the Black culture?
I definitely feel like anime can help the Black culture, and not just the Black culture, but honestly any culture.
Yes.
Because the morals, principles, and values of trying harder, of doing better, of outdoing yourself, of leveling up can apply to anybody, no matter their race.
Amen.
At all.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you asked me that, though. I'm glad
For
that
sure.
you asked me that. Social media thoughts? Is it good, bad?
Social media, you have to be on it if you're serious about your game. Like, it's just a necessity. Like, I know TikTok's very like uppity right now. I've had a few posts here and there. My majority of my followers are on Instagram. I weirdly have like 1,000 followers on Facebook too, on my artist page on there. So my Facebook does well. That was not even planned. I think if I put the effort that I put into Facebook a year ago, then I think I could easily get my TikTok up. But yeah, just like spreading the awareness. You definitely want to take advantage of the platforms. I sometimes get sucked into the trap of scrolling, you know?
Yeah, true.
And it's so bad for your mental health because, say you had to take a day to self-care and, I wasn't able to do a show or I wasn't able to do an interview or whatever it is, like that might negatively, like I might feel negative towards myself because I'm looking at all these, especially female rappers, oh dang, they really hustling today.
Right.
Ooh, what did I get done today? I took care of my mental health. That's important too.
I like that.
That's important
super
too.
Tap right there.
Yep.
Super tap. So my producer just let me know we running a little bit over on time, but don't worry. I got to ask you one more because it's one of my favorite questions. Okay. And then we're going to wrap it up, okay?
Big talkers. Big steppers.
Yeah, big steppers. The biggest steppers. So if you could invite 3 people to a dinner, living or dead, who would it be? And I'm not saying any it doesn't have to be a celebrity. You know what I mean? Anybody. And it doesn't, I guess it necessarily, no, Leah, that has to be a real person. So living or dead.
Yeah.
3 people to a dinner. Who would it be?
Can I have 2 separate dinners? Can I have a living and a dead dinner?
Look, all right, I'll do that.
So
just what?
I'm sorry.
You PAIGE, so you get to go ahead and talk to her.
So definitely my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side.
Okay.
I don't have a relationship with my dad, unfortunately. Shout out to my dad and all the fathers on Father's Day today. I really still hope everyone has a great day. But I never got to meet my grandma. Loretta, it's like where my red hair, actually I do have some red hair underneath. Okay. So HOTTIE Red, does exist.
Yeah, this is legit.
That's my grandma. I never met her, and my grandpa knew me when I was a baby, so never got to like get to know that side of my family. I don't talk to anyone on my dad's side, so it's kind of like who am I from this side of the family? I have no idea. I have no idea like if my grandma could sing or anything. But I do know faith and singing definitely come from my mom's side. I'd like to know more about like the tarot cards that my grandma did that I never met, and things like I think she was more of my like crystal side, my
spiritual
side. I think she was more of my spiritual side, so I would love to like meet her, have her dinner with her, and my grandpa. So Loretta and Harold, and then my uncle, my mom's brother. I never met him either. He died when he was 3. His name's Bobby. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's my dinner with.
Yeah, that's the deceased dinner, basically.
Correct. Yeah. And shout out to all them y'all. When I see cardinals, when I see 2 or 1 or 3 cardinals, like I know who it is. I know it's them visiting. So I'm very big into signs, animals, people, numbers, all of those things. Yep. Angel numbers are huge for me in my day. And then the other dinner that I would have, it's got to be like.
I'm curious on this one.
It's like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Drake.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Drake. That's a solid list. I can't really. I like that list. I like that list.
They're huge influences for me.
Influencers, artists, parents.
Yep.
All of the above,
yes.
Honestly. Really, jack of all trades. Yes.
And so they have so many multiple streams of income, and just they help the communities and things, and I just want to connect and just learn. I just want to sit there and like be a sponge and soak up everything that they had to say to me in that dinner. So I know that dinner will happen one day, and so will the other one.
Yeah, dang.
Once I reach the other side. So both of those will take place.
I love that. You so tap Paige. I love that. I love that.
That's cool. Now I have so much to think about tonight.
Yes, yes. I can't wait to like edit this and go back. I'm like, dang, this was such a good interview.
Yeah.
With that being said, this was such a good interview, and I had so much fun doing it. That's why I just like your energy, and I like when you're around. And I think that you know, we should continue to tap in with each other. I think that the people out there, the viewers, should make sure that you tap into Paige music. And I want to give you a chance to, you know, let the people know what's coming up next, and also to shout out your social media page.
Yeah, for sure. So shout out to my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. They are all @PaigeOfficial_. Definitely follow me on all of those platforms. I post different material on all of those platforms. Like, I don't repost. So that's how I let my fans know, you know, you definitely want to stay tapped in with me and follow me on all 4 of those platforms, just so you're seeing all of my sides, because I have a lot of sides. And I have a lot of material and things like that I post about my music and my life. So other than that, I do have a West Coast tour coming up.
Hey, talk about it. Like,
shout out to the West Coast. Love the Midwest. I love Cincinnati, but I was blessed to travel with DJ Calvin in Bugas in all around Texas 2 months ago. We hit, oh Lord, where'd we go? Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, did 4 shows, and then I actually was able to hang out and spend the weekend at South by Southwest.
Wow. That's
huge
dope.
That's for dope. Me. Met a few DJs who've been mixing my music on their sets in the clubs in Atlanta as well. So definitely, Atlanta is definitely one of my hot spots for sure. Need to hit New York and the East Coast. But next up is going to be the West Coast tour.
West
for sure, with DJ Calvin and Bugas again. And even Caitlin is supposed to make an appearance.
Okay.
Love to meet, you know, an established female rapper. I know that she's like linked in with Bia too. So, and a few other rappers, and that's just major goals for me. I know like it's step by step for every single artist. So I just like to, you know, give my praise to the people who have gone for me. And yeah, I'm really excited for the West Coast tour, and I'll be hitting 3 different cities. So I'll be hitting San Diego, LA, and then the Bay Area.
Hey, that's tap right there. So West Coast, paid to be in your area soon. Tap in. No lie, like I said, this was an amazing episode, and I'm truly humble and appreciative that you were able to come through and speak that tap talk for us.
Thank you for having me, Tap.
And we're definitely going to collab here in the near future and make sure that we, you know, just stay networking with each other, because, you know, we kind of on the same goal as far as just trying to advance, trying to prosper in our personal life and in our careers. You agree?
Trying to make a difference in this world too.
Facts.
I feel like we have very similar visions.
Facts.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's your boy Tap Dub. I'm here with
I'm Paige Official, Cincinnati's Hottie Red.
And we are bringing you that educational, entertaining, and motivational content on a daily basis. I'm tapped in, and now I'm tapped out. Peace.
Period. Peace.
Payments no playing, we heard you was slacking, and I get that front end, back end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in, tap in. I make that bitch. AOE! This be